Hello and welcome. I'm Srinivasan. This is Talking Sense with Srini. In a huge role for the AIADMK-led National Democratic Alliance in Tamil Nadu this election season, the Bharatiya Janata Party's rockstar politician Annamalai has refrained himself from electoral duties, citing his father's ill health. What kind of impact will this have on the alliance? And to decode the inside story, we're joined by Editor-in-Chief S. Srinivasan. Let me begin with you there. So, Annamalai's withdrawal, citing his father's ill health from the electoral duties ahead of election season. You think this is genuine, or you see that, he's coming out with a subtle messaging for the central leadership as a token of protest against what he feels is perceived, sidelining within his party?
Yeah, so you formulated your question saying that, we're going to talk about some inside story. I mean, how much inside, I really don't know. But if you put together the happenings around you, certainly it seems very clear that Annamalai A is dissatisfied. B, BJP is not keen that he should be right now heading the party campaign.
That's right.
So there is a certain background to that. If you remember, there was an interview which I did with Mr. Gurumurthy, who's a party ideologue in Tamil Nadu, and he did say that for the moment we are not sidelining Annamalai, we are actually asking him to, he's kind of being kept in abeyance as of now. So he's still a very active member of the party, but he may not be that election. Probably the idea of BJP is to prepare him for 2031 election. But whether Annamalai has shown, that kind of patience is another question. So there are a lot of possibilities here which have happened. What was the immediate provocation which made Annamalai react like this when a question was posed by a journalist, whether he is going to contest, election from the constituency Singanallur. So that was the question, and he immediately said, well, I'm not even going to campaign for the party. Now, someone who has a huge ambition, someone who's, fashions himself as the future chief minister of the state.
Some even call it future prime minister too.
That's kind of a talk which happened, exaggerated statement which I made in Delhi. But, here at least he fashioned himself as somebody who's directly taking on. So the one theory could be that, look, he's positioning himself to face the 2031 elections where there would be lot more youth leaders. It could be Vijay of TVK, it could be Udayanidhi of DMK, and he could position himself at that because he's still very young. But the fact here is that he has been kind of sidelined in the party, and that's very clear because he was asked by the party chief, Nayanar Nagendran, only to, he has appointed 72 election in charges for 234 constituencies, and Annamalai has been dealt as one of those.
Yeah.
And he has been assigned 6 segments: Singanallur, Madurai South, Srivaigundam, Vargambakam.
I think that's what miffed him?
Yeah,
so someone his influence within the party.
So obviously somebody who fashions himself as an overall state leader, and you ask him.
He went on a statewide tour as well.
Exactly. So you ask him just to concentrate on 6 constituencies. Is obviously he isn't taken kindly, and he perhaps wanted to travel all over. So I think that's the reason that he immediately made this statement. He has quit. The argument which he is giving, or the reason which he is giving, is not very justifiable, that his father is unwell and he is taking care of him. Because everybody knows that his father has been ailing for a while now. So, Annamalai, by doing this, what is going on in his mind? What is that he is thinking? It's a $1 million question.
But there are lots of other theories as well, that he could actually, come out with his own party. And, some reportedly say that he's also in close touch with Vijay. We don't know what next for
Mr. Political speculations have no end. But let's look at some of the immediate possibilities, or read from the available facts with us. One, he was clearly not given a larger role to campaign. Second, the constituency which he wanted, the question was basically on that constituency, Singanallur, whether he would contest from there. Now, this seat is being held by AIADMK. And it's a kind of a bastion, party bastion and a party leader for a very long time. And now again, the party wasn't willing to give up that. And BJP doesn't want to make an issue out of that, because if you remember, it was because of Annamalai that the BJP's coalition with AIDMK and specifically Edappadi was completely wrecked in 2024, and BJP had to pay heavily. Imagine a situation if they had an alliance and they managed to win some 15 seats, 10 to 15 seats. It would have helped BJP at the center.
That's right.
So I think, therefore, they didn't want to get into a scrap with BJP at this point of time, and he was aiming for he was wishing for that constituency. That's another reason, perhaps. So he therefore probably has been told to lie low for a moment. And how he takes it is, again, as I said, it's $1 million question. Because whether as a loyal soldier of the party, he keeps his counsel or he does something more. Like you said, there is a speculation that there are speculation.
He might float his own party.
Can he float his own party? Can he? These are slightly, far-fetched issues as of now. But anything may happen in politics. But we don't know as of now. That's slightly, taking this, moving ahead of the narrative. But it's certainly where to listen to the various voices which are coming and various sources. Did meet Vijay, actor Vijay. That's one news going around. Second, it's also going around that he's kind of maintained relationship with some DMK leaders also. Now, people can meet each other more as a courtesy, but does it mean it has got any political meaning is difficult to say. But then the very fact that these kind of speculations are floating around, either by his own friends or enemies, we really don't know. But what is happening is, everybody for a moment seemed to have decided that Annamalai is not in the game as far as this 2026 assembly elections are concerned.
Oh, but since you actually spoke about Annamalai, Vijay's meet and all that, do you think Annamalai joining the TVK in a way, and if speculations were to be true, you think that could be a tsunami in Tamil Nadu
No,
elections?
I don't think these are far-fetched.
Okay.
See, somebody who has an aspiration to be the CM, and even Vijay, actor, wants to be a CM.
That's right, yeah.
So you can't have two stars in the same, so unless there is, so I think these are all far-fetched slightly as of now. That's how I read the situation. But certainly, Annamalai is a force to reckon with as far as an individual is concerned. After a long time, BJP cadres were managed to, they got enthused by Annamalai, especially the younger generation got a huge, lift. And he was seen certainly as someone, and he broke several rules of engagement, political rules of engagement, which is prevailing in Tamil Nadu. BJP leaders or whichever party leaders always, very polite in their communication, not in your face, not aggressive. But Annamalai did all of that, and he was not one leader who can be easily put down by anybody's statement. And he took on facts. He's, in a way, seen so polished because he's a former IPS, and he could speak very well, articulate very well. So he was emerging as some kind of a force, and someone who has a certain following that he knows. So that is also kind of his own strength. If he realizes that, look, I have a certain following here.
Heft within the party.
No, may not be within the party, but within the.
That's right. Yeah, within the people of Tamil
within
Nadu.
the sections of voters.
Yeah.
So probably he would be encouraged by the fact and disappointed with the fact that party hasn't given him anything in return. He has sidestepped from 2026 election. He was expecting something he would be given at the center.
So expectations were quite high when Naina Nagendran took over, and when Amit Shah was also here in Chennai, he met Mr. Gurumurthy as well. That I think it was expected that Annamalai would be given a larger role in the center, but nothing of that sort happened later. You think this seems like more of a subtle messaging there. So what's the functioning of the BJP now? You think the central leadership might be thinking, look, I think maybe we should retain Annamalai, and maybe we should offer him something better.
BJP won't like to lose Annamalai. So they may be. See, if you look at the way BJP is, it's a cadre-based party, and a lot of discipline in the BJP comes from its RSS cadres.
Yeah.
And you would have noticed that many of the powerful leaders today in BJP have all, including Prime Minister Modi, have come from RSS. Now, the cadres which come from RSS into the party maintain a certain order of discipline. You see, you have examples of L.K. Advani, you have examples of, Murli Manohar Joshi, Uma Bharati, there are numerous others. Even Shivraj Singh, former Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister, former Chief Minister of Vasundhara Sindhia from Rajasthan, they all have received a lot of setback, in the prime of their career, when they were really on the rise. Yeah. They have been asked to, see, when it was seen that, when Advani was asked to kind of move aside, they all did without a murmur. But that's the kind of a training RSS has. They don't get out of line because for them, ideology is more important. You would see a different thing in BJP, those who have come from outside and not cadre. Now, you would see those people, in a way, defecting. You have a good example of, Yashwant Sinha. He had joined, he even became a minister, he was a finance minister in BJP government, but then he took no time to switch and became a rebel. So
Arun Shourie?
No, Arun Shourie again was not from the cadre. Okay. So some of them turn critique. Mm-hmm. So that does happen, but you will rarely find RSS cadres turning, except there is one case.
But I'm sure Yashwant Sinha wouldn't have turned rebel if you would have been given a cabinet posting in Modi's cabinet.
Well, see, that's again
So what about
this is again an issue. But what I'm trying to say is the basic point that the party leaders coming from this RSS cadre maintain a far higher degree of discipline than those coming from elsewhere.
Right, yeah.
Now, if you see, there's only one example of Ediyurappa, who's again an RSS, cadre, but he did rebel. Then BJP finally had to eat a humble pie and then bring him back because they saw no other way in Karnataka, because they needed somebody who's charismatic, who can actually draw a larger crowd and build a case in Karnataka. So they had to bring back. So it would depend on what happens in this election, and particularly post-election, how Annamalai conducts himself and how he positions himself. So
it's also very interesting what you're saying, sir. Usually political pundits generally say, Annamalai, picks up the political playbook of Mr. Ediyurappa there. You think Annamalai has got that heft, what Ediyurappa has? You think he's some sort of a junior Ediyurappa who BJP could do that to him?
No, so he's completely untested. Unlike Ediyurappa, already had a strong base.
Yeah.
And he actually had, one election. He formed a separate party and he became a big spoiler. Mm-hmm. See, Annamalai in that sense hasn't actually led a party to an election or something like that. He still hasn't, in that sense, done it. Yeah. I'm saying in the assembly election particularly. So I don't think his stature you can compare with, this thing. But all I'm trying to say is there is an example in BJP where someone, even within the cadre, like a senior leader, like Ediyurappa had rebelled. But in this case, it's pretty different. How he conducts himself, what he does, whether he brings any value on the table is yet to be seen. But BJP would certainly won't completely, as of now, he may be sidelined. But then they won't hesitate to bring him back if they find use, if they find value in what he can bring on the table to the party. But there is another thing here. My own feeling is that this particular election, the way it's going, Annamalai's statement, is a setback to the kind of momentum the party want to build in the state.
That's right, yeah.
So there are also...
It seems like the NDA is in tatters right now.
NDA was in tatters before the arrival of Prime Minister Modi here a few weeks ago, and he went back, and then I think they had a serious discussion as a follow-up to that. The Home Minister and the Chanakya of the party
somewhat stitched the alliance together.
Yeah, you see Amit Shah came here, and you soon saw some alliance party men coming together, which is basically, you have PMK came, joined, and TTV Dinakaran joined, and then, so it appeared as if there is a certain momentum is building. The interesting stuff here is the man who actually moved the needle is, Amit Shah. Even Edappadi seemed very reluctant building his alliance because his entire objective seems to be keeping his party intact. And
That's right, yeah.
he wasn't willing to accommodate OPS. I mean, what could be more this thing? Somebody who has been twice as chief minister of a state, literally pleading, knocking at your doorsteps and saying, please allow me in. And Edappadi is still very, adamant and saying, no way, you can't have any entry. And even in the case of TTV Dinakaran, he's been allowed as an ally. It's not as if he has been given an entry into AIDMK. So that alliance happened again because of BJP. So more than AIDMK, it is BJP which was keen to build an alliance, because I think they're keen that a certain vote share which they gained in 2024 election is maintained in this election. But the strategy, if you see strategically what BJP has done in other states and what it is trying to do in Tamil Nadu, seems to be kind of very different, either by design or the way Tamil Nadu has politics behaves here. So there is a difference here, certainly.
One last question there, sir. So Annamalai is arguably the rockstar politician as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned. Whatever he speaks sells like hotcakes. He still has a huge fan base in the state. Whom would the Bharatiya Janata Party supporters might be looking out for if Annamalai is there? You think they still vote for the party?
Well, that's a big question. See, some of the supporters, you're right, Annamalai is almost have a rock star image in the state, especially among youngsters. It's also like Vijay has got a huge support base among youngsters. Annamalai also had. The people who started believing in soft Hindutva, and they are a kind of, because hard Hindutva is not there in Tamil Nadu. So basically they have begun to follow, Annamalai. They will be disappointed. Now the question is, where is that they're going to vote? My own understanding is, when I was speaking to our own reporters, they were saying that the supporters are unhappy, but they would now, since Annamalai is not there in the scene and he's not even going to campaign for the party, they will vote anybody who wins against DMK, which means it won't be a positive vote for BJP, but certainly a negative vote for DMK. I mean, that's a kind of a formulation these supporters have. And some of them would have lost interest because Annamalai is not there. In that way, it's certainly a setback to BJP. Its own vote share to some extent may get affected. But I think the bigger game is the way BJP strategizes itself. It seems pretty clear that they are more interested in strategizing for 2031 and not so much for 2026. Now, AIDMK was in a position to, we still don't know how the elections are going to pan out. If the situation changes in 2026, AIDMK is able to actually, form a government or some such thing, then the situation would change, certainly. But there is yet the momentum is to pick up, and as far as the signals are concerned, it's not going in the direction. The alliance is not moving very cogently, because also the question of transfer of votes between various constituents of the party, unless they are held together as one unit, that's difficult to happen. So it's certainly the NDA alliance in that sense seems to be a bit dodgy right now. So the strategy of BJP in other states, if we look at what they did in Maharashtra or what they did in Bihar, is to be a part of a alliance where if they are even playing as a second fiddle, it's okay as long as they grow. And so you have seen that happening in Maharashtra. They were, part of Shiv Sena alliance. But again, there is a difference. When these alliances happened, the leading party was in power. And so they played the second fiddle. Then the moment came and the opportunity came, they became the number one party, like they are now in Maharashtra. And like Bihar, they are doing the backseat driving.
Odisha, I think they were Biju Janata Dal, and now the ruling party.
No, they were never in that sense. They once allied and then left. They won the election on their own. Okay. So here in Tamil Nadu, they have to devise perhaps go back to drawing board and devise a new strategy. And I think they know for a fact that it's really 2031 which they would be seriously looking at how it moves. But certainly this election is important for them because they would have liked to improve the overall vote share of NDA and also their own vote share as an individual political party. In that sense, Annamalai stepping back from campaigning is a setback.
Thank you very much, sir. Very insightful talking to you.
Thank you.